No one has the balls to stand up like I'm doing right now. Let's stop the crap already. We're all Americans. We're all equal. I don't see black. I don't see Asian. I don't see anything but American. Welcome back to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Before we dive into anything, I want people to understand we have about 2 weeks to go here now for the most important election in New York City since I've been living here for the last 75 years. My point is right now, this election is so important. We've got to get people out there. I need people to tell other people, the independents, we must vote for anyone but Mamdani. You could vote for Cuomo, you could vote for Chris. I need everyone listening to do one thing. Save the New York City from this communist socialist Zohar Mamdani. New York City will never be the same if he gets elected. Again, I started this pack about 3 months ago. You could go to NYCABM.com and hit the donate button. We are now all over social media. We hit over 500,000 hits, and we're getting all kinds of responses. Again, you go to the website, NYCABM.com, or you can send a check to anyone but Mamdani at 489 Fifth Avenue, 16th floor, New York, 117. Every dollar helps. Let me explain what we're doing with this. We're going on social media. We are going to be out to almost 1 million people by the end of this week. And we're showing what New York City is going to become if this communist socialist gets elected, and what it's all about, his radical agenda to destroy our city. We have to protect the city we love. Now, before we talk about politics, let's talk about what really matters, the voter. Because this race isn't just about our candidates or polls. It's about turnout. We got to remember, the last mayor primary, about 1.1 million people voted. But during the presidential elections, that number jumps to 2.6 million. That means half of the city, millions of people stay home when it counts the most. This time, we can't afford that. This time, I need every voter out there. Every vote matters. Early voting begins Saturday, October 25th, and runs daily through Sunday, November 2nd. Election day is Tuesday, November 4th. So here's the message. If you want to stop rising crime, and believe me, rising crime, people say crime's down. Bullshit. I'm out every day. I know what the people are feeling. And stop rising crime. It's rising. And people's fears are rising. And there's selfless murders are out there. You have to go out and vote. If you want to stop the homeless crisis, I just saw St. Patrick's Cathedral. I got pictures. I'm going to put it on the site. A mentally ill person defecating in front of St. Patrick's Cathedral on the subways. Also, you've got to go out and you have to vote. If you want to protect affordable housing and end the fiscal vote, please, you have to vote. Fiscal waste, we have to get on top of this. We have so much debt in the city, and it's only going to increase if Mamdani gets elected. If you want to keep Wall Street here, keep businesses and taxpayers from fleeing the city, you must go out and vote. If you normally skip local elections, you can't this time. The survival of this city depends on turnout. Now let's shift gears. Because while New Yorkers are focused on safety and sanity, the political machine is hard at work behind the scenes. Word is the White House is leaning on Sid Rosenberg and John Catsimatidis, pressuring them to convince Curtis Lewa to drop out of the race. Let me tell you something. Curtis Lewa has been out there every day fighting for this city. He's got guts. He's got hearts. And nobody can question his love for New York City. But at this point in the race, we all know the math. Curtis doesn't have the votes to win this on his own. That's why it's time to think smart. If Curtis dropped out and threw his support behind Andrew Cuomo, that could change everything. Maybe a united front, but we have to try something. Cuomo's base Curtis street credibility, and the moderates who just want safety and sanity back to the city. That combination could finally stop Mamdani. I'm not saying Curtis walks away. I'm saying he steps up. He becomes the difference maker. The guy who puts New York City before any ego. Because if Curtis endorses Cuomo and joins part together before the next debate, it will send one hell of a message. The real New Yorkers are done watching radicals like Mamdani hijack this E. Hold on right there. I just hope there's a debate going on tonight, Wednesday night. I just hope they both attack Mamdani and stop attacking each other already. Chris Cuomo calls me all the time. He tells me, oh, Bo, you got to support my brother. I support anybody but Mamdani. I don't need Curtis and Cuomo to go at each other's throat. They should gang up and kick the shit out of the real problem, who's Mamdani. And how you beat this socialist? Not by splitting the vote, but by joining forces and fighting like hell for the people. Speaking of debates, let's talk about the moderators from New York One. People like Errol Lewis, Brian Lawyer, and Katie Honan. They're not there to question Mamdani. They're there to protect him. Even the Daily News, not exactly a conservative paper, blasted the moderators for cutting off real discussion. They wrote, every time a conversation threatened to get interesting, one of the moderators would interject and say, we've got to move on. That's not journalism. That's a cover-up. So here's my call to everyone listening. Go on to X, tag NY1, call their studios, and tell them we want real questions asked. Stop shielding Mamdani from accountability. Let's lay out all the direct questions about the police. Now, all of a sudden, one of his assistants I saw was saying, oh, who gives a shit about the police? They made this comment. Who gives a shit about the police? If this is the attitude of one of Mamdani's guys, I can see it's coming from the boss. He called the NYPD racist, anti-gay. Now he dodges every question about it. Has he changed, or is he just hiding his real beliefs? I say he's hiding his real beliefs. And if he gets elected, the same crap is going to come. He hates the police. And they're all going to leave. Under his brand of politics, the NYPD morale has collapsed. Officers are retiring, transferring, quitting. He supports replacing cops with social workers for emotionally disturbed. You try sending a social worker into a knife fight. He says it's false that he supports prostitution. But he's the one sponsoring the bill to decriminalize lawyering for prostitution. His so-called quality of life plan, it's a plan to close Rikers, defund the police, and free violent offenders. Here's one more thing. I would say, if you go to my website, nycabm.com, you can see he wants to put mentally ill on the subway platforms in these abandoned stores. It gives them real good accessibility to go down to the platform, push someone in front of a train, or rob somebody, or stab somebody. On schools, he wants to end the mayoral control, the same failed community control that destroyed education decades ago. We tried this. It didn't work. And his free bus plan, that's just a socialist fantasy that will lead to chaos, vandalism, and fewer riders. These aren't ideas. They are disasters waiting to happen. Let's get into the real dirt, because every week is another scandal. Investigators found $13,000 in foreign money, including donations from Dubai, funneled into Mamdani's campaign. That's 170 foreign-linked donors, illegal under both federal and city laws. So the question is, who is really funding Zohan Mamdani? Because it's starting to look like it's not New Yorkers. And then there's his stance on terrorism. Let's face it. They just locked up a guy down south, one of the Hamas leaders who was involved with the October 7th, killing 60 people. He's in our country. And Mamdani was asked directly, should Hamas disarm? He refused to answer. That's the same Hamas that's executing people as we speak today, shooting people in the back of their heads. That's the same Hamas that refuses to give up their weapons. But in the same breath, he said he'll arrest Netanyahu if the Israeli prime minister set foot in New York. Think about that. He won't condemn terrorists, but he'll threaten the Israeli leader. That's how twisted this happy-face scumbag is. That's his priorities and what they're all about. How about that senior Mamdani staffer I just told you about? He says, who gives a shit what cops think? Because this is their attitude. We'll get elected, we'll say anything they want to hear, and then we'll do what we want. That's the culture of this campaign. Law, lie, lie, lie. Contempt for law enforcement. For victims for the truth, the video released by Steven Crowder, his team shows exactly who these people are when they think no one's listening. Next, there's the pro-Mamdani PAC, linked to a Palestinian organization with terror connections. They spent $36,000 in ads pushing his free bus socialist agenda. And one of their top donors, guess what, was tied to a group that hosted an October 7th Hamas attacker. These aren't coincidences. These are real connections. And campaign finance watchdogs are already reviewing it. And it doesn't stop there. How about the CUNY, CUNY Professors Union, got caught using taxpayer-funded email systems to push this creep Mamdani's campaign. That's illegal. Government resources are used for political campaigns. That's corruption, plain and simple. BMCC and the Kingsborough campuses are both under review, and they should be. Even the academia has been weaponized to back socialism. And then the photo says it all. Mamdani smiling shoulder to shoulder with Shaja Wahulia, whatever the hell his name is. That's the same Iman. He was an unindicted co-conspirator in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. This man has defended terrorists, condemned America, and called for jihad. And Mamdani calls him a pillar of the community. Hold that right there. He'll come back, and you know what he said? Well, Mayor Big Bird de Blasio took pictures with him. Eric Adams took pictures with him. Bloomberg took pictures. Well, those three, if they took pictures with him, they're douchebags. You don't have to take a picture with him if you don't agree with what his policies are. You don't get to play innocent after all that. When confronted, he said it again. He smirked with that stupid smile. And he said, oh, people are attacking me because I'm winning. No remorse, no accountability, just arrogance. The Detective Endowment Association that I'm a member finally had enough with Mamdani and his antics. My friend Scott Monroe said right straight, New Yorkers need to vote like their lives depend on it. And he's right, because this just isn't another election. It's about public safety, sanity, and the survival of New York City itself. So here's where we stand. We've got foreign money, terror-linked allies, and anti-police rhetoric. And the media that will not hold this man accountable. Why isn't it on the media what he's saying and what he's all about? They just cast it aside. All they'll do is go after Curtis. They'll go after Como. And you know what? The reality of the Mamdani machine is all lies. But we can stop it. Go to NYCABM.com. Hit the donate button or mail a check to anyone but Mamdani, 489 5th Avenue, 16th floor, New York, 117. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, get out to vote, because if we don't show up, this city doesn't stand a chance. And I keep on talking about this every single week. Now we got 2 weeks to go. This is the most important election. Look at New York City. Drive around these magnificent buildings all over New York City is the greatest city in the world. We cannot let this city fall under socialism and communism. I want everybody to go to the cable, go to cable, and go to Netflix. There's a history channel about the whole history of how communism and socialism started in Russia after the World War I with these creeps over there, what they did to their people. They poisoned their people. Stalin was worse than Hitler. He didn't do it to others. He did it to his own people. He wanted everybody to be the same. You know what I tell? Halloween's coming up. Everybody should buy a Mamdani mask and walk around. You know why? He wants everybody equal. He don't want, when you work hard, to succeed. He wants to take your money and share it with everybody else. You don't have to work. Well, I'm sorry I get excited, but please tell everyone, contribute to this pack that I put together, nycabm.com. Please, I do this One Tough podcast, and I want everyone out there, please, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, remember, we must not let this man be elected. We must have everyone come out in massive. All the people who have no party, Republicans, Democrats, everybody, independents, let's blast this guy out. I don't care who else you vote for, but we got to blast him out. And again, till next week, please get this, pass this word. This is Bo Dietl signing off. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you very much. God bless New York, and God bless you and your family. Thank you.